At 70, Ron Howard peels back the curtain on a secret that shadowed him for decades, confirming what many have long suspected. This legendary filmmaker, known for capturing the essence of American life with gripping clarity, steps out from behind the camera to share a personal revelation that might change how we see him forever. Has the master storyteller been holding back the most compelling story of all, his own? Prepare to journey deep into the heart of a Hollywood icon as we explore a hidden chapter of Ron Howard's life. What lies behind the success of this beloved director is not just talent, but a tale so poignant it could be straight out of one of his own movies. Stay tuned as we unveil the layers of mystery that have surrounded Ron Howard until now. Early influences. Ron Howard's path to showbiz was almost divinely ordained since his early entry into the world of entertainment through his parents, Rance Howard and Jean Spiegel. Howard, his two actor parents. Ron would be brought up in an environment where acting and filmmaking were part of everyday life. Shortly after his birth, the family moved to Hollywood, enabling him to commence his acting career at a rare age. The little boy started his film career in The Journey at the age of 5, and soon after appeared in The Music Man, flaunting his inherent talent and personality on the big screen. It was the role of Opie Taylor on the now classic American television program The Andy Griffith Show that pushed him into stardom. The character made him a household name and part of the heartstrings of American audiences.
That they're quick toasted to capture that fresh corn flavor.
It was at that time on set that Ron's father usually acted as his guide for the acting course, which very much had to do with his understanding and passion for the art. The early years not only paved his way in acting, but also set him up for future endeavors in directing. His early beginnings and the surrounding influences instilled in him an early love for storytelling, which later sealed his fate as one of Hollywood's most respected directors. With his early years shaping him into a natural performer, Ron Howard was about to take on a role that would forever etch his name into American television history. Breakout role and stardom. Ron Howard's iconic role began early on as Opie Taylor in The Andy Griffith Show, which continued from 1960 when he was barely 6. This role presented him to a national audience and embedded him into American television history for portraying the lovable, wise, beyond-his-years son of Sheriff Andy Taylor, Andy Griffith. In a television series that ran for 8 seasons, Ron gleaned inimitable love and recognition from viewers across the country. Though initially seen as just a little boy, during all those seasons, Ron matured personally and professionally, learning from many great actors and directors associated with the series. Mr. Howard did not follow through with the final episode of The Andy Griffith Show in 1968.
On a better trade, too. Roller skates are twice as good as a cat pistol.
But took it as a means to continue with yet another significant television role as Richie Cunningham on The Happy Days show, which was started in 1974. The show portrayed the image of the 1950s and gave Howard a sure place to go while creating the final straw for him as a pop icon in America. The show was hugely successful for 9 successful years and became a very defining part of 1970s television through its nostalgia and Howard's charisma, including mostly Happy Days. At this point, Howard reached his apex in acting and set the stage for what was, at least then, surely to follow. A privy passage into direction and even more accolades. Ron Howard's transition from actor to director was a natural evolution in his career, spurred by his deep-seated interest in storytelling and the technical aspects of filmmaking. His directorial debut came in 1977 with the low-budget comedy Grand Theft Auto.
Also, it's a comedy.
A film he also starred in. This opportunity arose after he struck a deal with producer Roger Corman, who allowed Howard to direct the film in exchange for starring in another one of Corman's projects. This experience was pivotal for Howard, providing him not only with a platform to showcase his directorial abilities, but also with a thorough schooling in the practical aspects of making movies. The success of Grand Theft Auto proved that Howard had the potential to succeed behind the camera, paving the way for more ambitious projects. Eventually, Howard would keep emerging into the directing scene and further withdrawing his acting that fully directed him. More well-defined as a director, he was in 1982 with Night Shift, his first reasonable hit, which showcased his talents at directing larger, more complicated productions. But it was in 1984, with the blockbuster Splash, that he broke through as a bona fide director on the Hollywood landscape, the romantic comedy about a mermaid in Manhattan. The hit was unanimous between audiences and critics alike, giving Howard his first serious entry into the mainstream of American directors. It was a defining moment that proved his transformation from a beloved child actor to a commercial director with real clout and the ability to work with the big stars. Major directorial successes. Ron Howard solidified his reputation as a top-tier director with a series of major successes that not only garnered critical acclaim, but also achieved significant box office success. One of his most notable films, Apollo 13 in 1995, is a compelling dramatization of the 1970 Apollo 13 lunar mission that suffered a near-catastrophic failure in space. The film was praised for its intense, gripping portrayal of the mission and its meticulous attention to detail, both technically and in terms of character development. It starred Tom Hanks, Kevin Bacon, and Bill Paxton, and it earned 9 Academy Award nominations, winning 2. This film showcased Howard's ability to create suspenseful, emotionally engaging narratives based on real-life events, earning him a place among Hollywood's directing elite. The zenith of Howard's directorial career agrees with A Beautiful Mind in 2001 in being the biographical account of the brilliant mathematician John Nash, who battled schizophrenia. Starring Russell Crowe, it definitely was the one film that earned the harshest accolades and stood with audiences of all deep ilk in a very relatable treatise of mental unrest, tangled in love and resilience. Winning 4 Academy Awards, including the prestigious one as Best Picture and Best Director for Howard, A Beautiful Mind showed off his versatility and skill in handling issues that were sensitive and complex. In this way, Howard has therefore firmly registered his legacy of directing as being one that weaves a narrative across genres and subjects, from the heaviest of dramas to touching comedies with an unmistakably distinctive voice.
Learning about the actual mission, the more I realized just how dramatic.
Ron Howard's illustrious career has been marked by significant collaborations with some of the most iconic figures in the entertainment industry. Perhaps his most notable and enduring partnership has been with producer Brian Grazer, with whom he co-founded Imagine Entertainment in 1986. This collaboration has been incredibly fruitful, producing a slew of successful films and television series that have left a lasting impact on Hollywood. Their synergy is evident in the way they complement each other's strengths. Grazer's sharp producer's acumen paired with Howard's storytelling prowess. Together, they have tackled diverse projects ranging from comedies like Splash to dramas like A Beautiful Mind and the thriller The Da Vinci Code, each project echoing their commitment to quality and innovation in filmmaking. Howard worked with Tom Hanks on various film projects like Splash, Apollo 13, and Robert Langdon-related movies like The Da Vinci Code, Angels and Demons, and Inferno. Their partnerships proved to be both commercial and critical successes, as they have really become projects stamped with critical acclaim. It's one of those moments when a director and the ideal actor have gotten so close over a couple of projects that this mode just sort of settles in nicely and easily between the two. Hanks's everyman persona and versatility as an actor perfectly complement Howard's directional style, which is largely character-driven and based on meristic emotional richness. This is perhaps the most successful actor-director combination in place today, and produces movies destined to please audiences and critics alike. While Ron Howard's collaborations have painted the silver screen with unforgettable narratives, behind the scenes, his journey weaves through challenges and innovations.
I realized I was leaving something behind that was, more than a job. It was a way of life.
That shaped the essence of his directorial philosophy. Directing techniques and philosophy. Ron Howard's directing style is characterized by a dedication to authenticity and emotional richness, which have been hallmarks of his filmmaking career. Even in the early stages of his directing career, Howard has gravitated towards complex projects that necessitate thorough research and a profound grasp of the material. His work on A Beautiful Mind exemplifies this approach. Howard's adherence to realism frequently leads him to work intensively with expert consultants to ensure that every aspect, from historical accuracies to intricate scientific details, is portrayed correctly. From the very beginning, Howard has tried to use advanced technologies to bring stories alive through film. From time to time, Howard used new technology in his works, like shifting to digital filmmaking in place of traditional methods. Through such an adaptation, keeping pace with the speedily evolving industry, Howard also ensured that all his films were trend-setting as well as related to the contemporary audience. Continuous learning and comfortable adaptation to new turnarounds and areas have sustained Howard to be an effective director, as well as relevant in the competitive field of Hollywood. It is thus that he has integrated the whole apparatus at his disposal in reaching out to people in human terms for whom the narrative is set up. All of Howard's films speak character-driven narratives of human reality, an account of dramatized ideas of the struggle and dissonances of the human experience. His known gift includes bringing very human performances out from his actors, which draws much of the emotional power of his films. Most of his films also deal with human relationship dynamics, reflecting his highly keen observation of and affirmation of the field of personal interrelations. This humanistic approach makes his films move to the viewers. More so, it allows for universality in addressing a global audience across cultural and time divisions. Ron's journey from child actor to acclaimed director was not without its significant challenges. Facing skepticism from peers and critics who doubted his ability to transition to a serious filmmaker, Howard used this doubt as a motivational force to prove his detractors wrong.
Collaboration fails all the time. Everything we do in this process fails all the time.
His early directorial efforts, such as the low-budget Grand Theft Auto, allowed him to hone his skills and gradually build credibility. Despite the initial success, these projects did not immediately dispel doubts about his capabilities.
Belief that if you are going to achieve your dreams, your goals professionally, it's not going to be through natural talent.
For professional and personal trials, Howard went through them as well, since this would write and direct work style. Howard had a very strong effect on his films in the emotional depth and authenticity of his films versus those made during this struggle to balance work as a father and husband. Proving further his resilience is his ability to adapt continually to changes made possible by the pace of rapid technological advancement and shifting tastes in the film industry. By adapting to digital filmmaking and new storytelling conventions, he has remained relevant and impactful in a constantly changing arena. This not only helped him overcome his own hurdles, but also paved the way for future generations of filmmakers through their own challenges. A reunion photo that held deeper meaning. On February 15, 2024, Ron Howard took to Instagram to share a nostalgic and profoundly meaningful photo. A reunion with his The Andy Griffith Show co-stars, Andy Griffith and Don Knotts. Captured in 1997 on the set of Ransom, the image showcased a rare and touching moment between the three actors, decades after they first brought Mayberry to life. In his caption, Howard reflected on the visit and revealed an unexpected discovery. He and Don Knotts were distant cousins. Though shared in a light-hearted manner, this revelation reinforced the deep, almost familial bond that existed among the cast, both during and after their time on the show. Fans responded with an outpouring of love, a testament to the enduring impact of The Andy Griffith Show. Howard's reflection extended beyond nostalgia, emphasizing the profound influence Griffith and Knotts had on his career. Over the years, he has credited Griffith with fostering a creative environment that encouraged young actors to explore their artistic potential. He fondly recalled how Griffith and the show's producers gifted him his first camera upon noticing his early passion for filmmaking, a seemingly small gesture that helped set him on the path to becoming an acclaimed director. In a June 2024 conversation with Conan O'Brien, Howard reiterated Griffith's role in shaping his approach to storytelling, praising his former mentor's commitment to grounding humor in authenticity rather than slapstick. Though both Griffith and Knotts have since passed, their legacy remains deeply woven into Howard's success. The lessons he learned from his Mayberry family carried him from his days as Opie to becoming an Academy Award-winning filmmaker. His Instagram tribute wasn't just a sentimental remembrance, it was a reflection of the lasting impact of those formative years. It honored Griffith and Knotts' personal and professional influence, showing how the lessons of Mayberry helped shape one of Hollywood's most respected storytellers. Even decades after The Andy Griffith Show first aired, Howard's heartfelt tribute is proof that the bonds forged in Mayberry continue to live on, resonating across generations and keeping the warmth of the show alive. Personal life and its influence. Ron's intimate connection with his family has dearly impacted this man's work, telling us about how such experience influences storytelling or filmmaking. Howard has remained married to his wife, Cheryl Alley, since 1975. It's a steady family life that has continuously provided him with a solid foundation and inspiration throughout his career. They had 4 children. Among them is actress and director Bryce Dallas Howard, all from a close nuclear family. This nuclear family has been a fountain of support and inspiration for Howard and has influenced many of his projects, often dealing with themes such as family, resilience, and personal growth. Having been raised in a show business family, with both parents being actors, Howard's early exposure to the entertainment industry ingrained in him a strong work ethic and a love for cinematic expression, which have been evident throughout his expansive career. These familial ties and early experiences have continuously echoed through his work, allowing him to craft films that resonate with authenticity and emotional depth. Additionally, Howard's own true story enriches the inner currents and spirit of his filmmaking with a genuine sense of life's trials and triumphs and the endurance of human bonding. The films reflect Howard's insight and appreciation of human relationships and their challenges, which are also universal experiences. The director constantly explores human relationships and the resilience in overcoming those inevitable challenges in life, making his films not only fun, but also something millions worldwide can relate to. As Ron Howard's personal journey enriches his cinematic creations, he looks forward to a future brimming with ambitious projects that promise to stretch the canvas of his legendary career even further. Future projects and legacy. Ron Howard's impressive portfolio keeps expanding as he has many advances again this time that will later add to his credibility as one of Hollywood's most versatile and accomplished directors. Presently, he is directing a biographical film on the great pianist Lang Lang, which intends to narrate the tale of the musician's development from a child prodigy in China to a next-the-world classical superstar. Indeed, this story alludes to Howard's continuing quest to delve deep into the life stories of the singularly terrible trials that people have undergone in their careers or their private lives. Howard is also supposed to direct The Fixer, a film based on a powerful FBI agent aligned with the mafia within the 1960 Las Vegas gambling scene. These are the projects showing the size of ranges and cool stories that could be why rely developing with Howard in a top-tier talent cast under such a narrative. His research on multi-dimensional characters really works out the complexity of real life. In many ways, to the critics and audience alike. The film industry is where a true Ron Howard's legacy was inscribed, with an array of influential films that gave him both critical acclaim and commercial success. Howard is there to the present day as a conduit through which quality product across genres keeps coming out. Working alongside Howard as a filmmaker and mentor to young filmmakers, innovative cinema education and advancement have really extended Howard's influence outside his own immediate endeavors. In this way, by continuing to define himself as an industry player over the coming years, he is also going to be helping define the future of this industry. A future that promotes story integrity and creative excellence as part of Howard's own legacy. As he forges ahead, Howard remains a pivotal figure whose creative footprint is not only shaping modern cinema, but also inspiring the next generation of filmmakers. His journey reflects a relentless pursuit of artistic growth and a commitment to storytelling that transcends the ordinary, paving the way for his enduring impact on the film industry. As Ron Howard keeps innovating and crossing the frontiers of cinematic storytelling, his upcoming projects will further add to establishing his vision in cinema. The study of complex, real-life figures in movies, including the Lang Lang biopic, emphasizes Howard's continuing commitment to depth and authenticity. Through these narratives, Howard not only entertains, but also educates, with his work being a bridge that links different cultures and experiences, enriching the world of cinema. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed unraveling the mysteries of Ron Howard's hidden past with us, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more captivating stories. Keep the conversation going in the comments below, and let us know what you think Ron's revelation means for his legendary career. And don't miss out. Click on the next video popping up on your screen to continue exploring the secrets of Hollywood's finest. Stay curious and keep watching.